Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on a special live stream where Bitcoin has just broken 50,000, and I wanted to cover this historic news story. And then, as always, I want to dive in and help you guys avoid scams and handle your cryptocurrency safely and securely. I love to store it in my own wallet, and I'm here to answer questions. So thank you for joining me. I see W and Birds, Bees, and Trees have already jumped in. I hope there's no technical difficulties during the live stream. I managed to get everything set up and ready to go. I'm only going to be around for about an hour because I got to go pick up my son from school. I wasn't going to do anything today, but then this story broke, and so I'm just going to cover that news story, and then I've got an interesting human interest story that I really want to share with you guys about some people that got scammed on YouTube in the comments. And I've noticed this sort of thing in my own comment sections, so I want to give you a heads up about that. Thank you all for joining me. Let's go over to the live screen here, and let's see, let's go over here real quick. I want to thank W, Birds, Bees, and Trees, Stefan's Motivation, and Mir Zen for jumping in on short notice. As I mentioned, I wasn't going to do anything today related to my YouTube channel. I just finished some work and my day job. And so if you want to check out the description, I've got the top story and our discussion topic, and I've got some affiliate links down here. I've got a new one for Coinbase, and Ledger is still running their special on their Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano X, the Ledger Nano S Plus Orange, and they're donating to Dev. I can't remember the name of the organization real quick. It's dev dot something. What just happened? Doggone it. Oh, I put in the here. Okay. You need to start with the HTTPS, right? Okay, there it is. They're donating to brink.dev, pardon me. If you want to make the Bitcoin network stronger. So anyway, check out the links I've got down here below. Let's jump into that main story. Let's get this party started. Bitcoin pushes through 50K for the first time since late 2021. We were over it a little bit, and now we're just down under, but we're still kind of coming back up from where we were about 20, 30 minutes ago. So it's an exciting day. The world's largest crypto has now more than recovered since tumbling below 40,000 in the initial days following the opening of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And here we go. We were at $50,031.43. Even as the new spot Bitcoin ETFs took in billions of dollars in their first weeks of trade, investors' attention appeared to be focused on the billions leaving the high-fee Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and the price of Bitcoin tumbled as low as $38,500 just days after the ETFs opened for business. The action of the past couple of weeks, though, has seen slowing outflows out of GBTC, while sizable inflows have continued into the new products. On February 8th, Grayscale shed just 1,850 Bitcoin, while the other 9 ETFs added nearly 11,000 tokens to their funds. Then, on February 9th, Grayscale lost 2,252 coins, while the other 9 ETFs more than 13,000. For perspective, just 900 newly minted Bitcoins hit the market each day, soon to decline to 450 per day when the Bitcoin halving occurs in April. So what is that? supply and demand, right? Demand is getting higher and supply is getting lower. So let's see what happens. Crypto winter ends. The price of Bitcoin peaked at 69,000 in November 2021. 2022 was a disaster amid the implosion of the Terra ecosystem and the disintegration of crypto exchange FTX. Notice those two events really had nothing to do with the Bitcoin network itself. Bitcoin just kept on being Bitcoin. But the Terra Luna was a completely different cryptocurrency that was a algorithmic stable coin that seemed to be doing good until there were some deep pockets that bought a bunch of their stable coin and dumped it on the open market. Clearly, somebody trying to tip the ecosystem over. And then the FTX crash was basically just a bunch of not very savvy business people trying to cash in on Bitcoin by starting their own exchange and over leverage themselves, right? Pretty much engaged in outright fraud, right? So none of this really had anything to do with Bitcoin. But people get scared. Sentiment changes and people started dumping their cryptocurrencies, and the Bitcoin market basically crashed all the way down to 16,000 in 2022, down about 75% from its all-time high. Many other crypto tokens suffered even larger routes. I can tell you, if you were holding any altcoins, you were crying, right? But now we appear to be back. Now, the altcoins still haven't bounced back to their highs, and neither has Bitcoin, actually. But this milestone today does mark a historic recovery from those 2022 lows, right? Good stuff. Thank you all for being here. As you know, I focus on self-custody and keeping your crypto safe. There's a lot of people out there hyping altcoins and that kind of stuff. I tend to stay down to earth, but I did want to cover this sensational story as we got kicked off. But I wanted to give you a cautionary tale from a story that I read, and I was really surprised about this story. This had nothing to do with crypto, by the way. But it did have to do with YouTube, and I do run a YouTube channel, and I see a lot of imposters down in my comments trying to convince people to engage with them. Right? I've even had a couple of emails and comments from people who were actually scammed by someone claiming to be me. And then I had to convince them that it was not me. And it's a really sad thing. So let's take a look at this story. It's really interesting. A couple lost $100,000 following the sale of their home after being scammed by an imposter pretending to be a popular finance YouTuber. Senior citizens Tracy and Greg Tennant from Kansas believed that they were getting investment advice from a financial expert when they were duped. They had been targeted by a sophisticated scammer. I don't know that he was that sophisticated. It doesn't take a whole lot of sophistication to create a YouTube channel and slap in an icon from someone else's channel. Right? I get a lot of that. They take my thumbnail, they save it, and then they create their own YouTube account, and it says CryptoDad something something. It's not exactly me, but then they use my icon and pretend to be me. And obviously that's what this scammer did to them. Pretending to be the expert who goes by the name Economic Ninja. Let's see. They left a comment on his video, right? Seeking some financial advice that left them vulnerable to the scam. I get a lot of people that leave comments on my YouTube videos and ask me questions, and then some imposter will come in and answer. So they had recently sold their home. They were really excited about the money that was just sitting in their checking account. He didn't even display any personal information in the comment. He just said, like, And he didn't even say, oh, we got a bunch of money, right? All they said in the comment was, would this real estate course be valuable to us? Question mark. That's all they said. The imposter replied as Economic Ninja and gave out his phone number. So this happens a lot in my channel. They're not usually giving out phone numbers. Most of the time, they're giving out their Telegram address or their WhatsApp address or something like that, claiming to be me, saying, you know, shoot me a message and we'll talk, right? The guy's username handle was a lot like the real handle, with only an additional couple of numbers. So Greg thought he was the real guy. Greg had been texting with the scammer for a couple of days when he mentioned to his wife that he had been advised to put their money into a high-yield investment account with an interest rate of 21%. Well, if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. Despite Tracy's reservations and concerns about the too good to be true interest rate, after watching some of the Economic Ninja's YouTube videos, she relaxed and only agreed to go forward on the condition that she could speak to him herself. We called and I talked to him, and it sounded like the real Economic Ninja. The voice matched and everything, so with hindsight, I can say he must have been using some AI or some type of computer software to be able to match his voice as the YouTuber's voice. I don't know. It's not that hard to imitate another person. The one thing that was different is that it sounded as if he was reading from a script. But you want to trust people. Why? Why would you want to trust people? Bless their hearts, right? But please don't trust anybody, you know, especially on a one-to-one thing where they're asking you to make an investment. So following the phone call, the couple was given some routing information to wire their money to a Chase Bank in Minneapolis. That added some legitimacy to it because it's not some foreign. We're sending our money to an actual bank in the United States. Okay. So we sent the money, and I just had this feeling, especially after we sent the money, the guy wanted us to send our last few $1,000s that we had set aside. He seemed really insistent. The scammer told the couple that another $50,000 they could make use of a promo event that would give them more benefits, and when they refused, he even offered to chip in some of his own cash. That kind of bothered me. Why is he being so persistent? This time I thought, it's like, I hope my mic's not. So I got on and looked at Economic Ninja, and pinned right at the top of his feed, it said, I will never ask you for money, and I will never tell people that I will invest their money. Boom. Never give money to a fake ninja. And that was when they knew, oh, wow, we've been scammed, right? So they called the FBI. FBI really can't do much. Filed a claim, a report. Chase won't talk to them. Chase isn't going to give the money back. And their own bank, USAA, they can't help because they authorized the outgoing wire transfer. So it's not like their account got hacked into. They were tricked into actually authorizing this $100,000 transfer to a scammer's bank, right? So guys, please, in the YouTube comments, I haven't seen a whole bunch of them lately, but let's see if I can find any. Let me just look on my last one. They seem to have not been that much lately. But let's check this video here real quick, see if I can find one.
Hey guys, CryptoDad.
That was my last standalone video. I don't see any imposters in this one. I used to have a really big problem with imposters in my YouTube channel comments. One thing about that, first of all, don't ever engage in the comments. I mean, I love to answer your questions, and I have a lot of long conversations, but I will never tell you to send me crypto or invest money or transfer money or anything like that. But one thing that you can see in the comments is that I have a special icon and a check mark around my handle when I reply in videos or, you know, in comment sections. So the imposters will have this same picture usually, but they don't have the gray outline and the check mark on their handle, right? I don't see any, there's not a whole lot of back and forth in these, but you really have to be careful when you're talking in comments. The actual YouTuber will have, you know, if they're a verified YouTuber, and some YouTube channels don't have verification yet because they're new or whatever, or they're kind of small. But after you've hit over a certain number of subscribers, you can register your handle. And it appears with like an outline and a check mark. So please, any other YouTubers that you might be dealing with, especially if you're dealing with any of these investment YouTubers, please be aware that the YouTuber themselves will always have a check mark next to their name. Don't ever interact with someone that just looks like the YouTuber. And then also, it may not say the crypto dad, it may say the crypto_dad or the crypto-dad or something like that. So guys, always please be aware of these types of scams. Also, I've linked in the video down below. There were some Solana drainer scams out there. And so when you're dealing with, and let me just point out too, that a lot of people get their wallets drained by malicious smart contracts. That does not happen with Bitcoin. So we're kind of talking about Bitcoin today. So just remember that there are no Bitcoin dexes, really. There are some places where you can, you know, trade Bitcoin, like on BISQ, BISQ, or something like that. But most of the dexes, the smart contracts, are on Ethereum or EVM chains like Polygon and that sort of thing, or Solana. So a wallet drainer that hits your hardware wallet cannot drain your Bitcoin. I want to point that out. But the main thing to remember for these wallet drainers are that they're usually on scammy sites where you're claiming an airdrop or minting an NFT. And so avoid that kind of stuff. And number two, if you're going to do that kind of stuff, don't connect your go-to wallet. Don't connect a wallet that's got thousands of dollars worth of Ethereum in it when you're claiming airdrops or minting NFTs. Right? Play it safe. Use a secondary wallet. Now, you can buy a whole nother hardware wallet if you want to, or you can create a secondary account. Let me go into Ledger Live and show you. You can create multiple Ethereum accounts on a Ledger device, right? So then you can keep them separate. Actually, I'm looking at Alex's Bitcoin at the moment. Let me go over here to MetaMask real quick and just show you what I'm talking about. Notice here that I have a Ledger account in my MetaMask, right? So you can connect your hardware device and create an account that's protected by a device. And then you can go on to DEXs and whatever using that account. But notice you can create more than one, right? I have created more than one account on this Ledger for Ethereum. So you can, since you are able to create more than one account, you can use one device with multiple accounts. Have one account where you do your long-term storage, have a different account where you do your minting and your NFTs and your airdrops and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you're brand new, it might make sense to just use a separate wallet, completely separate wallet. Rather than your hardware wallet, or just use the hot wallet for doing the risky stuff and just keep small amounts in there, right? Don't even connect your ledger to MetaMask, right? If you're going to do the risky stuff, right? I mean, I've always said, oh, protect your accounts by using a hardware wallet. But if your hardware wallet has like buku funds in there, you might want to just keep it away from the risky stuff. Anyhow, I want to thank Scott Lee. He's here today. 50K resistance until after the halving. Well, we'll see. Because earlier in the day, we're still off 50. But earlier in the day, we had hit 50 and bounced back. There was some resistance, and then we crossed it again a few hours later. So I was kind of hoping when I jumped in to the live stream today to see it blasting past 50, but we are it looks like we're hitting a little bit of resistance. Yeah, so Bitcoin still has room for going up as far as I'm concerned. And Dan's not here today. I'm going to see him tomorrow. Dan Westra, our moderator on the Saturday night stream. And he did note that we were going to have the highest weekly close that we've had this year. And so I think that was part of it, right? We were at around 48,000 last night when we had our weekly close, and that was much higher than it had been. So that was a good chart indication, right, that we were going to have upside potential. And so we had it today. Oh, Dan is here. Cool. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Dan. I kind of wanted to, I've showed you guys this before, but I would like to do it one more time. I know this is a little bit off topic. I wanted to, Kenny's not here, but I was going to show you guys, my stable diffusion, all of my attempts at, icons or thumbnails today. I kind of like, actually, I don't know which one I actually used. Let's see, which one did I use? Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, and I didn't even go like all the way to the top. Let's see, what did I do here? Yeah, I don't know which one, but this is me playing around with Stable Diffusion. Some of these look really good. Like, I kind of liked this one. I thought that was pretty cool, and I was almost ready to use it because it's like, the Bitcoin orange suit. I like it. But I ended up using this one. This one was pretty good. That one was all right. Yeah, I think that's the one I eventually ended up using. Yeah. All right, but anyway, that's just playing around. What I was going to show you was how I manage multiple copies of Ledger Live. I think I've talked to you guys about this. When I use Ledger Live, I have separate what we might call profiles. They don't implement that. It would be cool if they did. So like if you have multiple devices and you want to keep them separate, or you have multiple people in the same household that want to use Ledger Live, you can put everyone's accounts in one copy of Ledger Live, but then the portfolio is way off, right? Because it includes everybody's holdings. So what I've done is this is my son's holdings, which are looking pretty good. He's got a little Ledger Nano X. But how do I get back to my settings? Well, if I just close Ledger Live, and then let's see, where am I here? Okay. Yeah, there's if you go into your C drive, right? If you go into your C drive, there's a folder called users. And inside that folder, there should be another folder that has your name on it. Now, inside this folder, we need to go into the app data folder. You may not see this folder unless you've got hidden files shown, right? So in the view menu, under show, we want hidden items. Now, it looks different in different copies of Windows. I'm using Windows 11, but even in Windows 10 and Windows 8, there's view options, right? So in Windows 11, it looks like this. We want to see hidden items so we can see that app data folder. Notice it's dim, right? Because it's by default, it's a hidden folder. So if we click in this folder, there's three other folders called local, local low, and roaming, right? Inside the roaming folder is where Ledger Live keeps its profile preferences. And the crypto is not in here, right? The crypto is on the blockchain, your private key is on your device, but Ledger Live can, once you've connected and set up your device, it saves all the public information of your wallets so that you can get back to them again without having to reconnect and re-add your devices. So the Ledger Live folder is the one that holds the preferences. Well, you can take your Ledger Live folder and rename it to something else. And when you launch Ledger Live, if it doesn't see the Ledger Live folder, it'll just create one. And it'll be a blank copy of Ledger Live. But if you, like in my case, I have my preferences here. I can rename my folder back to Ledger Live. And when I launch Ledger Live, now it's got my stuff in there. So there we go. See, my balance is different, and I have a whole bunch of other accounts in there. Right? These are all my accounts. A bunch of them are empty, but this is my stuff. And I wanted to point out that I've got an Ethereum main account here for one Ethereum, and then I have an Ethereum H account for a different Ethereum wallet. Right? So you can have multiple Ethereum wallets. You can have multiple Solana wallets. You can have multiple Bitcoin wallets. That's one of the nice flexible things about Ledger Live is you can maintain different wallets and multiple wallets of the same crypto. You can't really, there's other wallets like Tangent where you can only have one account of each crypto. So Ledger Live is pretty flexible. Let's go ahead and close it, and we'll go back here and we'll rename this to _Rex. I keep track of it, right? And now we can look at my daughter's, which is this one. All right, we'll just name that Ledger Live, and then we'll relaunch Ledger Live again. And now it uses the whatever folder, when it finds a Ledger Live folder, it uses that one. And as you can see, my daughter just has Bitcoin and Ethereum in her wallet, right? She's got 0.1 Bitcoin and 1 Ethereum. It's been in there for a couple years now. I think I put that in there back in 2020 or early 2021. Well, let's see. What was the last deposit there? The last deposit I made was 11/13 of 2020 to bring her up to 0.1 Bitcoin. Or maybe that was a little on top. I don't know. All right, so let's go back to my profile. We'll close Ledger Live, go back to that roaming folder. We'll rename this folder Chris. All right, and then we can go back to mine and rename that just Ledger Live. So now we'll relaunch Ledger Live, and we've got a different profile. All right. Mind you, all of this stuff is set up by connecting your device and doing add account and doing all that stuff. But once you've got it all set up, you can manage different profiles simply by managing your folders inside the roaming folder. If we name the folder Ledger Live will use it when it launches, right? So we can sort of going back and forth. My brain is going to need an oil change after this. You know, we wouldn't have to do this if Ledger, they've done all this work in Ledger Live so that you can swap and buy and sell and refer and Ledger recover. They got to make this darn Swiss Army knife of a crypto wallet, but it would just make sense if they would have profiles, just like your Netflix account, so that when you log into Netflix, you got daddy, mommy, and the kids each have their own profile in Netflix, so that they can, you know, have their own suggestions and their own, you know, history and all that stuff. It would be so cool if Ledger Live would do that, so that when I launch Ledger Live, it has, well, whose profile are you looking at now? Just like when I launch Hulu. Let's see if I can show you what I mean. You know what I mean, right? So I log into Hulu, and, well, I have to log back out. Well, anyhow. Usually it's like, who's watching? But it's not right now. Okay. Okay, here. No. Okay. All right, it's not going to cooperate with me, but you can see. So we got Alex has his profile. Christabel has her profile for the shows she watches. The cat has one. I don't know why the cat has one. The dog has one because that's one we put on when the dog's in his cage. So, yeah, it would be so cool if Ledger Live had that, so that you could flip between profiles and each person could look at their own device and their own accounts and their own balances, but they don't, right? So that's why I do this thing, this ganky little thing where I rename folders to get the... Anyway, you know, I hope that's a little bit helpful. So as far as scams go, first of all, don't interact with anyone in YouTube comments if it has anything to do with sending them crypto or sending them money, right? I am totally fine with answering your questions in the YouTube comments. Man, shoot me a comment. I love it. I get into a lot of great, interesting conversations in my YouTube comments. I will do my very best to respond to your YouTube comments, but I will never, ever ask you to send me any crypto or any money of any kind. So just keep that in mind on any YouTube channel. If you're in the comments and they're asking you to send them money or send them crypto, you know, please don't interact with those types. And they're usually imposters, right? There are even some scam YouTube videos I've seen. Commercials where that are running in my videos where they tell them to go to this other video, or it's a commercial that's telling them to go log into a site where, you know, you send them 1 Bitcoin and they'll send you back 2, or you send them 0.5 Ethereum, they'll send you 1.0 Ethereum. All of those scam commercials, I can't control those. And I will go through and delete these scammer imposters to the best of my ability, but they're like mushrooms, right? And then number 2, always be very careful with the way you manage your wallets, right? Don't connect your wallets to crazy sites because you want to claim a free NFT or a free airdrop. That's very risky behavior. Use your wallet for your serious stuff, right? Buy your crypto on a regulated, above-board, trusted exchange like Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, you know, those kind of places, or Binance US, and then make your trades, do your investing, smart investing, and then move your assets. If you're going to hold them long term, move your assets to your own wallet. Right? Doesn't have to be a Ledger. It can be a Trezor or a Tangem or, you know, a desktop-based wallet like MetaMask or whatever. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than leaving it on the exchange. Play smart, right? And don't engage in risky behavior. Don't click links that tell you you're going to claim an airdrop and get $1 million, right? If you look in my Ethereum account, you can see that there are just, I've got some, actually, I think I've hidden most of the scams in this Ethereum wallet. But if we go into the Polygon wallet, there I get scam tokens almost every day. I got this one today. Right? And when you click on them, they're always going to tell you you need to go to some website to claim your airdrop and, you know, get $1,000, right? Please don't interact with this stuff. It's not going to drain your wallet just by being in your wallet, right? They can't harm you just being in the wallet. So don't freak out if you see scam tokens in your wallet, right? Your wallet is a public address, so people can send you anything, right? The point is that they can't withdraw anything unless you help them. So don't interact with any of these scam NFTs. And then go to these crazy websites, you know, HTTPS 3000 UST.top, right? Don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay. Should be rather simple for Ledger Live to implement a profile. Yeah, you would think. It would be so nice if they did that. Birds, bees, and trees, thanks for being here. Paul Obsher Krolos, thank you for that nice compliment. I appreciate it. Send me one BTC and I will send you nothing back. LOL. Yeah. Tangem to store BTC. Yes, you can store Bitcoin in a Tangem wallet. Let me share my phone with you guys. Whoops, it's already running. Okay, so let's just turn on, whoops. Oh no. Hang on just a second. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go into Tangem. And unfortunately, I moved the Bitcoin out that I had in there the other day, moved it over into Alex's wallet. But and you can manage multiple Tangem wallets here. But yes, you can store Bitcoin in a Tangem wallet. All you have to do is enable it, like in manage tokens, you know, just make sure it's enabled. They only support the main Bitcoin chain. I think if you wanted to if you wanted to do an Ethereum ERC20, like wrapped Bitcoin, they support that too. But that's an ERC20 token, and it's supported on a lot of different chains, but that's not Bitcoin. Right? That just follows the price of Bitcoin. So you can enable Bitcoin in your Tangem wallet and store Bitcoin in there. Why don't we move a little bit in there anyway? So I'm just going to hit receive. That's the Bitcoin address of my Tangem wallet. I'm going to share that with myself. And we'll send some from my Ledger account. All right. So I just sent myself the Bitcoin address of my Tangem wallet. All right, there it is. I'll just copy that into my clipboard, and then we'll run over here to Ledger Live. Let's go back up to the Bitcoin account. Let's do the main. All right, there's some Bitcoin in this account. Right, this is a native SegWit account. Let's just go ahead and send the Bitcoin over. I already copied the address of my Tangem wallet. We'll hit continue, and we can go ahead and send it all. I'm paying $7.07, so Bitcoin fees are pretty high right now. I get a lot of pushback from people in the comments, and that's insane, and I would never pay that, and all that stuff. And you know, what if we multiplied that rate by, 1,000. So 1,000 Bitcoin would be $700. That's not the way blockchain fees work. Right? Blockchain fees tend to get lower the higher the amounts go, and they fluctuate based on network activity. It's not a straight percentage. But anyway, I'm going to take the hit and do this for you guys. Now, I need to connect my device because these wallets are protected by the hardware device. Right, I'm looking at my Ledger wallet. You saw me flipping between profiles. My son's Bitcoin is protected by his Ledger. My daughter's Bitcoin is protected by her Ledger device. So I can't send from my daughter's account because she has the device and she knows the PIN. I don't. My son's a little bit younger. I know his PIN. Whoops. Let me go ahead and enter the PIN on my device here. And we'll, whoops, get that handled. Boom. And boom. All right. So you saw me get the address. Let's zoom in the camera over here. If it's going to work for me. Well, it may not. What just happened? Oh, I'm hitting the lock. I'm not hitting. There we go. Oops. But it is kind of okay. Yeah, I'm having trouble with this camera because it's. I have been using it for so long, and I have like this little HDMI cable that I use to connect the camera to my computer, and that cable has been in that camera for years, and it's been moved around a lot, and so like the HDMI connector is like kind of loose now, which sucks. I mean, it's an $800 camera, but hey. All right, so we hit continue here, and it's going to ask me to open the Bitcoin app. All right, and then it's going to ask me to authorize this outgoing transaction in my wallet. And I review. I use the metal button to advance through all of this information. There's that Bitcoin address. Let's take a look at it one more time. Right? Notice that the Bitcoin address of my Tangent wallet matches the Bitcoin address that I'm sending to on my device, right? That's our fail-safe, right? We're double-checking everything, right? We're not just doing this willy-nilly, all right? And then I'll click Approve, and then I need to confirm those blockchain fees, that $7 blockchain fee that I decided to eat for you guys. Off it goes. Boom. And let's just put this down for a second. Let's hit view details. There it is. There we can see that we sent $7 fee there, and we sent all the Bitcoin. We can even view it on the Bitcoin Blockchain Explorer. Tells me it's unconfirmed. It might take it a while to hit my Tangent wallet, especially today, right? There's a lot of activity on the Bitcoin blockchain today. What's the back door on Ledger? There is no back door on Ledger, right? Bitcoin is not a porno movie. People keep talking about it, but they have simply zero proof that there is any such thing. People want to talk about it, and they say, oh, it's got to be a back door because we don't know. Well, there's a lot of things we don't know. Right? But you can't prove something by saying it's possible, right? There is no known backdoor on Ledger. No one has ever, presented proof that their wallet has been drained by the Ledger company, right? That's just FUD is all that is. I've been using my Ledger Nano X for years. I have never had any crypto simply disappear from my wallet. Let's see here. Let's go. I want you to see this wallet. Same with Tangent. I've never had anything go wrong with my Tangent wallet. There. It says transaction pending. We got some Bitcoin coming in. It doesn't really say how much, but it does see that there's an incoming transaction. It might take it a little while to actually totally confirm, right? And then, if we look here, I don't see any confirmations yet. So this might take a while. I don't know if we have time to take this up. Can't add H bar. Can't add H bar. Okay. Just go to your accounts, hit add account, choose H bar, and click continue. If you don't have the H bar account on your device, it will install it for you. It wants me to allow a secure connection because it's going to install an app on my device. You can see that it's loading right now. The HBAR app is being installed on my device automatically, which is kind of nice. Now it wants me to open it. Right? It's going to scan my device for any existing HBAR wallets, which I believe there was one on there. And the account is already in my ledger live. Right? If it were empty, it would just like have a zero account that I could add. The weird thing about HBAR is that you can only add one account of HBAR. Kind of odd compared to some of the other crypto. I guess that's idiosyncratic of HBAR itself. So we can just close this and go down here to Hedra, right? And there it is. There's not much in there, but that's how you would add the account. Oh, you got it. Cool. I hope that helped. All right. And before I exit, whoops, I'll hit receive so we can do the hardware check. And that's weird. It's not doing the hardware check that it would do on a Bitcoin account. It's just showing me my HBAR address. It's kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, HBAR is a little funky. Yeah, it doesn't behave like most of the other cryptos in Ledger Live, but I don't know. Right, because like if we go to the Bitcoin account and do a receive, and it's going to tell me to open the Bitcoin app on my device, and then it's going to show me the receiving address. That's a verification that the account and the device are synced up properly, right? You always want to do, your verification step to make sure that everything is copacetic there, right? That's what I was expecting with HBAR. It didn't do that. Some bizarre reason. I don't know why. And you can see here this cent is still pending on the blockchain. Yeah, things are a lot of activity there, and that transaction is still unconfirmed. I was telling you I moved some crypto out of my Tangent wallet yesterday, Bitcoin, and it took a long time. I mean, it took forever for it to get out of my wallet. So I just went and did something else and checked back later, and then it worked, right? So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is a lot of activity on the Bitcoin blockchain right now, right? Buying and selling Bitcoin and moving it back and forth. So be patient, right? Even I, with all my experience yesterday, was like, why in the F is this outgoing transaction taking so long? It was just bizarre. So yeah, I don't know that we're going to have time to wait. Emmanuel, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, as always. Let me see here. Dan, everything you do on the blockchain can be tracked. However, no one actually tracks you if you don't give them your info. Good point, Dan. My wife and I were talking earlier today about how much is tracked. she was like talking about 1099s, and I was like, well, back in the day, I remember if I did like side work for a certain client, like I went over to somebody's house and worked on their computer, and they just paid me a few $100. They weren't required to do a 1099 for me. But I did have some customers that they paid me more than $600 in 1 year, so they had to file a 1099, which meant that the IRS had a record of someone that filed a 1099, and then they, would come to me and go, "Hey, you got a 1099. Why aren't you declaring that income?" Right? So, but now it's like, even if you don't get a 1099, the financial information, almost everything is tracked. So even if someone were to write me a check or Venmo me or Zelle me some money from their Chase account or their Wells Fargo account, there'll be a record of that somewhere. So, I mean, everything is tracked now. Bitcoin is trackable, of course, if you send someone. It's a transparent blockchain. Lionel, is there a max percentage of your total crypto you'd be comfortable holding on any one given wallet? When prices are going up, do you rebalance to keep any wallet from holding too high a concentration? That's a very good question. I don't have any hard and fast rules of my own. I trust my ledger for the bulk of my holdings, but it has become pretty much a consensus best practice to not hold all of your crypto on one wallet. I don't know what that percentage would be. It would be different for everybody. I don't really have that because, like I said, I'm still pretty much comfortable using my ledger device to hold the bulk of my crypto. Now, I store a lot of that behind passphrases, so you don't see that when we look at my ledger live, right? I would have to be logged into a passphrase protected account, and usually I delete those accounts after I'm done using them, so I don't see them in Ledger Live. You could save them in Ledger Live if you wanted to. So if it's a lot, but I don't recommend passphrases for average wallet users because it's so easy to forget your passphrase and lose your crypto. And I use a lot of different hardware wallets, so I have holdings spread out across different hardware wallets, but it would be for you. You have to decide. If you're uncomfortable holding 100% of your assets on one wallet, then you should set a goal for yourself. Like if it's $100,000, I should split it, 50-50 between two different devices, two different brands, whatever. A lot of people, they don't trust Ledger anymore, so they want to move over to Trezor or Tangem. But it's up to the individual to decide how you want to spread the assets across different wallets. I will point out also that if you're a new user, you're not familiar with crypto and using crypto wallets, if you get into this super secure, paranoid mindset and you're like, oh, I'm worried, so you're going to start splitting up your assets across 3, 4, 5 different wallets, you've added layers of complexity to your holdings, right? It's much easier to use a safe and secure wallet and just hold your assets when you're new, as opposed to trying to get all super secure and storing them in different places and then losing track of what you're doing and forgetting where you've put stuff or what your passphrases are. If you've got a different pin on each device, you're gonna start driving yourself crazy. So don't keep all your eggs in one basket is sage advice. It's been around forever, right? But don't overcomplicate things either. You're going to fall into, especially above your level of technical expertise, you're going to end up losing crypto. Let's see, what do we got here? Still, that outgoing transaction is still not confirmed. It hasn't even left Ledger Live. Pretty crazy today, huh? Oh. right? So yeah, I can't really show you the back and forths in my Tangent wallet. Although the Tangent wallet detects that there is activity on that receiving address, right? It's just unconfirmed yet, so I'm not going to see it. Yeah. Yes, Dan is a little sneaky sometimes. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to stay much longer because I got to go pick up my son from school. And this was just kind of an off-the-cuff thing. The main thing I wanted to do was report on the break of 50,000 and also talk about the scams, guys. Please buy your Bitcoin on a safe, trusted exchange. And put it in your own wallet. It doesn't have to be a Ledger. It can be a Trezor or a Tangent or whatever wallet. But please move your crypto into your own wallet, right? Unless you're a trader, right? But if you're buying and holding for long term, use your own wallet. I've been doing it for many years now. I've never lost any crypto. And I've done some stupid stuff like expose the seed phrases of some demo wallets that I've used in my YouTube videos, that kind of stuff. But I have never lost any crypto in my Ledger device, which I have been using for many years now, right? And because I use the same Ledger device, if I find a crypto that I forgot about, I'm usually able to locate it again because it's on that device. So, you know, if you've got 5 different wallets and you're like, where did I put that near protocol token, or where did I put that one ERC20 token that was, you know, I bought back in 2020 and I can see it's mooning now. Where did I put it? You know, you're going to drive yourself nuts, right? For me, I just connect my device and boom, I usually find whatever crypto I'm looking for because I've always used the same device. Right. Just me. Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap it up, guys. Thank you. Everyone jumped in except for Kenny. Pardon me. He sent me the news today. But yeah, Dan jumped in. JDO jumped in. I appreciate you guys. Scott was here. I don't know if he's still here or not. But thanks, Emmanuel, for the donation. I can't see it here, but I remember it coming in. Let's see here. Yeah, Emmanuel, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's go over here, stream ending. We're going to just wrap it up, guys. I showed you a few advanced techniques. I showed you an easy Bitcoin transfer. Always, you know, double check everything you're doing. Just be very careful. But the Bitcoin blockchain is kind of slow today. So I'm looking at my Tangent wallet and that transfer has not shown up on the other end. I usually like to, you know, show you both sides of the transactions. But I'm going to have to cut it short today. Once again, yes. Jay, right. They got me once, not here, but with positive comments, and then they linked to a swap page and signed a transaction. And the next thing I know, any deposits I made were auto withdrawn by them. Yes. So please be aware of scammers. I hope I saved you some heartache today by showing you some down to earth advice and some wallet management techniques. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Don't forget, we're going to do the live stream Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm still going to do my live stream Wednesday, probably around 10